Welcome to the Understanding China Conference 2023, organized and presented to you by the EU SME Centre. My name is Liam Jia. I'm the team leader of the EU SME Centre Phase 4. The EU SME Centre is an initiative from the European Commission that supports SMEs to explore the Chinese markets, providing first-line advice and through the services we offer to SMEs. The Understanding China Conference has been one of the signature events of the center, organized for our key stakeholders in Europe to present to you the latest trends, developments, policy updates on China. Today, we are glad to be holding this year's conference back in Brussels. Before we start, let me quickly present you the agenda of today's program. We start with opening remarks. Moving on to the first two sessions in the morning on China's economic outlook and EU-China trade relations. In the afternoon, we'll look at topics on policy environment and business confidence in Europe and in China. In the end of today's program, we'll look at technology innovation, R&D in China, and its impacts on SMEs. Without further ado, let me introduce to you our speakers for opening remarks. We have Head Sector for EISMEA, European Innovation Council and SME Executive Agency from the European Commission. Our second speaker, Mr. Renzo Igor, is the coordinator of the EU SME Centre Phase 4 Consortium and also the Secretary General of the China Institute of Commerce. Our third speaker for the opening session will be Mr. Fabrice Terrac from the DG Grow, the Deputy Head of Unit from DG Grow from the European Commission. Now I would like to pass on the floor to Mr. Kalinic for the opening remarks.
Thank you and welcome everyone. My name is, as you can see, Igor Kalinic, and I'm working for the executive agency. And you might be wondering how it comes that actually there are two people from the Commission for the opening, and we want to do it very institutional, this gathering. No, actually it's quite the contrary. And if you go to the agenda, you can see that actually there are not many institutions represented this year. Just let me quickly pave the way why there are two people from the Commission at the beginning. And so I'm from the executive agency, and later there will be my colleague from DG Grow. DG Grow, what is different between DG and executive agency? Well, in a nutshell, I like to say that DGs are the one that have the strategic thinking, they are the one working the work plan, long-term planning, they are the head. The executive agencies are the ones that put the policies in practice, so that manage the contracts, that manage the costs, manage the tenders. So we work hand in hand. I like always to say to our contractors or our beneficiaries, just think about us as one entity, the European Commission, and we sort it out. Now, a little bit about the executive agency. The executive agency is about small and medium enterprises. So it's basically the European Commission has brought under one umbrella all the most important initiatives that regard small and medium enterprises. It is called EIC and SME executive agency, and you have already heard about EIC, European Innovation Council. This is an initiative that where basically European Commission is kind of playing the capital venture in order to support the startups, the really innovative high-growth companies, European companies, and trying to keep them in Europe. So you know that we have a very good researchers, very good innovators, but then somehow these companies, when it comes to be unicorn and really scaling up, most of them actually are move their seat to the United States or to other countries around Europe. So this is a tentative of the European Union to maintain them within Europe. But then we have also the other part, is SME, and this is a more holistic approach, more inclusive approach, the ecosystem approach, which is typical of the DG Grow. And here we usually support business reporting organizations, to support SMEs. And this is the case of the EU SME Centre in China. So there is a number of business supporting organizations that came together, that presented the proposal, and all of them together from different, some have the seat in China, some may have the seat here in Europe. And all together, thanks to these multiplying factors, are able to reach a wider number of SMEs. But this is not an isolated case. We have many other initiatives. For example, a very similar initiative and much older in terms of time. It's EU Japan Center for Industrial Collaboration. It was set back in 1989 or 87, if I don't remember correctly, and it's by the European Council directly. And if you pay attention to the name, it was industrial collaboration, because back in the 80s, the big companies needed the governments to get together to have industrial cooperation. Now, this use Japan Center came nothing of industrial, is doing SME, but the name is still the same. Of course, China is the same. So the big companies basically take over without support of the kind of state, whereas it's still easy. Next to it, we have other initiatives, very important. We have also an IP international help desk in China that I know that you cooperate very, very closely. And this center is also providing first step advices to all the small, medium enterprises, European SMEs willing to enter Chinese market. It's very important actually that they contact this center before it's too late. So this is what always we advise. Next to these two specific initiatives, we have also wider initiatives like Enterprise Europe Network or European Cluster Platform that you probably already heard about. And these are really wide organizations, wide networks that support SMEs, all to core, I would say. Now, specifically about EU SME Centre in China, as you heard, this is phase 4. So, what does it mean, phase 4? Well, there was phase 1, 2, 3. In EISMEA, in the executive agency, we started with the phase 3 in 2020. And then we renewed the project because it's very important. In July 2022, we started, and this phase will last until July 2025. Okay, these were a little bit of numbers, just to let you know that I started, but I did my homework. But this is important, and I think that it's very important, especially in this geopolitical situation, because these kind of organizations are now also acting as a bridge, as a contact points for SMEs that are going international. I mean, especially after the COVID and the current unfortunate situations, SMEs might be really, really scared to go out. So if they don't have these contact points, well, basically they're really left on their own. A lot of contacts that they had before COVID, like before the war in Ukraine, well, basically disappeared. They fade throughout the time. We can also see that in our personal lives. If you're not in contact with someone, it fades. And also curiosity. The first two phases were not under DG Grow, which is DG for Industry, Single Market, Entrepreneurship, and SMEs. It was under DG at the time, DEVCO, now INPA, so Development and Cooperation. Well, what's happened actually, I like to say that the Commission stayed up, kept up with the time, and yeah, China is not anymore a developing country, or it's not, but it's a partner, it's an industrial partner, so of course it changed the DG. So this was in a nutshell for myself. I'm not going to tell you about bigger implications and policy frameworks, which probably will do my colleague from DG, and I would like to give the word to Mr. Isler.
Igor, and welcome to all of you. Good morning, first of all. And exactly 2 years ago, we ran this Understanding China event completely online. COVID was plaguing the trading system across countries, closing its second year of ordeal and frustration, but with strong hopes of recovery with the advent of powerful vaccines and the strong commitments by governments and institutions. So today we're here, big change, and we hope that we don't have to do that again. I'm Renzo, and I am the Secretary General of the China Chamber of Commerce. I have been living and working in China for the past 18 years. The CICC has been, since its inception in 2010, the consortium partner of the EU SME Centre project. In this phase 4, CICC is the coordinator of the project. 2 years ago, I delivered a keynote speech at the Understanding China, which had the ambition to offer a helicopter view of what China was going through, making at the end some predictions of what was going to happen in 2022. Reading it now in retrospect, some of those happenings were strongly influenced by the powerful resurgence of COVID in China, and especially in the key port city of Shanghai, as well as the war in Ukraine. In 2023, while the war in Ukraine still looms over our heads, COVID in China was quickly and swiftly taken off the books, with an opening up which caught most of the people by surprise. But from a commercial point of view, trade did not resume at the same speed, as the general conditions of European investors' sentiment were scarred, not only by the lockdowns and supply chain ordeal, but by the overall reduced confidence in the Chinese market's production capacity, as well as its domestic consumption. This, however, did not mean that China was taken off the map. Rather, SMEs repositioned themselves with a better knowledge of the market environment, changed regulations, and diverse opportunities. Definitions like China plus one, de-risking, repositioning were cited over and over again, clearly indicated that China changed and foreign enterprises were changing alongside. The EU SME Centre in this dynamic scenario has been an irreplaceable instrument to support the European SMEs with our boots on the ground, offering advice, reports, training, advocacy through high-quality professionals, state-of-the-art working tools, and geographical span across the European Union. The road ahead is still bumpy. The geopolitical and financial challenges which have characterized this year will continue, and the dual circulation enactment by China will maintain its predominance in a domestic self-supporting trend. The position, though, by the Chinese commercial players is still open to catch up any opportunities which may come about from the overseas economies, especially from the euro area, as there is an unsung reckoning that China cannot lock itself down and away from the rest of the developed world. In the meantime, it will be interesting to monitor the challenges and opportunities in the world and in China, which are reflected through a series of intertwining concepts such as innovation versus regulation, wealth creation versus wealth distribution, decarbonization versus economic growth, and so on. These are some of the major debates still ongoing in the world, and each system, each country must deal with them and find solutions to tackle those issues based on their own culture and political structures, while working with one another to upgrade the entire global system. In the EU and elsewhere, SMEs are a significant source of innovation and human creativity. They contribute to cultural diversity and quality of life. EU SMEs go abroad. They also support prosperity and innovation in their host countries. They play a role in the diffusion of culture and people-to-people contacts. SMEs bring innovative solutions to challenges like climate change, resource efficiency, and social cohesion, and help spread this innovation throughout Europe's regions. They are therefore central to the EU's twin transition to a sustainable and digital economy. They are essential to Europe's competitiveness and prosperity, industrial ecosystem, economic and technological sovereignty, and resilience to external shocks. In this fluid and intertwined evolution, which carries still many uncertainties, taking turns as the pendulum swings, I remain a firm believer that for the European SMEs, the opportunities to do business in China are all there. There will be indeed the necessity to deepen our homework, find allies, utilize the consulting services that the European Commission is making available for you. This will not be a guarantee of future success. This will remain embedded in your own abilities and skills. But it will surely help you to avoid making unnecessary mistakes. Those European SMEs who are already in China will have indeed to abide to more strict rules and data management, financial controls, and governance at an increasing level, but will maintain their capacity to produce, be remunerated, and repay its shareholders overseas through dividends and capital repatriation. The IPR regulations on both sides are making progress. And for this, the China SME IP Help Desk will be a must stop for everyone interested to produce in or export their products to China. Aside from the rhetoric and propaganda, there are, however, some bullets for us to constantly keep in mind. First, market research. Conducting thorough market research is essential to understand the Chinese market's dynamics, consumer preferences, competition, and regulatory environment. This will help European businesses tailor their products and services to suit local tastes and identify potential gaps in the market. Second, local partnerships. Collaboration with local partners can help European businesses navigate the complexities of the market. This could include finding reliable distributors, agents, or joint venture partners who have an established network and understanding of the local business landscape. 3, e-commerce. Leveraging China's booming e-commerce sector can be an effective way for European businesses to reach a wide customer base. Platforms such as Tmall, JD.com, and Taobao provide opportunities for online sales and brand recognition. Fourth, localization. Adapting products, marketing strategies, and customer service to align with the Chinese culture and preferences can enhance the chances of success. This may involve translating marketing materials, incorporating Chinese symbolism, or customizing products for the local market. Fifth, intellectual property protection. European businesses should take steps to protect their intellectual property rights. In registering trademarks, patents, and copyrights can safeguard their innovation and brand reputation. Sixth, government support. European businesses can explore government support programs and incentives offered by both European and Chinese authorities. These programs can provide financial assistance, market insights, and network opportunities to facilitate market development. 7, social media marketing. Utilizing popular Chinese social media platforms like WeChat, Weibo, and TikTok can help European businesses engage with the Chinese consumers, build brand awareness, and drive their business forward. 8, market segmentation. Given China's vast size and regional diversity, understanding regional preferences and tailoring marketing strategies can yield better results. Regional market segmentation can help European businesses target specific consumer segments and localize their offerings. 9, after-sales service. Providing reliable and efficient after-sales service is highly valued in the Chinese market. European businesses should ensure they have customer support mechanisms in place to address any product-related issues or concerns. 10th and last, adaptability and innovation. In a rapidly evolving market like China, European businesses should remain adaptable and open to innovation. Keeping up with emerging trends, technologies, and consumer demands can help them stay competitive and seize new opportunities. Overall, market development in China requires comprehensive understanding of the local market, strategic partnerships, localization, and customer-centric approach. With the right approach and careful planning, European businesses can tap into the immense potential that China has. The program we have prepared for you today and tomorrow will give you an insightful view and understanding of these issues. But don't be shy in asking questions during our sessions or during breaks and networking time. We at the EU SME Centre stand by you, ready to offer you our 13 years experience in the Chinese market. Call us, connect with us through our website, and follow us on the main social media. Thank you so much.
Hello, good morning. I'm your third opening speaker, so I think I'll try to cut it a bit short so that you can get on with the rest of the program. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Fabrice Terrac. I'm Deputy Head of Unit in the International Value Chains Unit of DG Grow. We are in charge, let's say, of the international outreach in terms of industrial policy, single market policy, SME policy, as we will be talking a lot about today. First of all, I would like to obviously thank very much Renzo, Liam, and the entire team of the SME Centre for inviting me and for organizing this event today. I have to say that looking at the numbers online, it's quite an impressive turnout. So I think this is a sign of, sorry, I hope there's not too much of an echo, of a great interest in the topic. I think a lot has been said about the importance of having such an event today. So I will just give you a few pointers on what we are a bit looking at in DG Grow, how we are involved in this work stream. As I said, DG Grow has at the core of its mandate in its actual official title, SME policy. This is very much a strong pillar of our action. We are perfectly aware that SMEs are the traditional backbone of the economy, as we like to call it. It represents 99% of private enterprises in Europe. It creates more than 2/3 of jobs. So there is no European economy, there is no European competitiveness without a dedicated focus on SMEs. We also know that SMEs have been going through a rough patch. I think this was mentioned previously, COVID, the different supply chains challenges that we keep hearing about. This has been weighing particularly hard on SMEs. And this is precisely why, as we surely picked up, our president in her latest State of the Union speech announced an SME relief package to provide dedicated support to SMEs and make sure that they can go through this rough economic period with their competitiveness intact and actually increased. We are also in the process of appointing an SME envoy attached to the president of the commission, who will have a bit the oversee on all our policies to make sure that they are SME friendly, that they take into account the specific challenges of SMEs. And this way, when we design new policy, new legislation, there will be a dedicated focus on how this is likely to impact SMEs. So all this to say that SMEs are very much at the core of our action in DG Grow. Having said that, we also realize, or we continue to be aware, that the full potential of SMEs remains somewhat untapped. The competitiveness, the job creation of SMEs could go even further. And one of the reasons why this potential remains somewhat untapped is somewhat lack of awareness or lack of, let's say, exploitation of the full range of opportunities provided by international markets. So this challenge of helping SMEs to go abroad, to internationalize, this is a long-standing priority of our DG, of my unit in particular, which we are continuing to focus on, especially in a post-COVID landscape. This topic is also covered by the new single market program, which I'm guessing many of you are familiar with. It has a dedicated SME focus, which also looks at how to help SMEs go abroad. Here, I will just mention a few things part of this program. It's meant to provide information about business opportunities abroad, existing barriers to market entry, related also to public procurement, navigating custom rules and procedures, improving business support services in terms of knowing standards and specific IP challenges. These are all a number of challenges which I think have been already mentioned and which the SME Center in China is particularly looking at. Looking a bit at these challenges, we are obviously also working with our colleagues in DG Trade, which I hope you are also in contact with. There's a specific platform on access to market, which is precisely designed to help SMEs navigate all the intricacies of free trade agreements, the rules of origin procedures, a lot of kind of fine print and legal dimensions, which sometimes can be a clear challenge for SMEs, particularly the smallest one who may not have the capacity to have this overview. So we're trying to let's say cut some of the work and provide as much information in a tailored fashion to SMEs about all the opportunities that there are abroad in terms of free trade agreements, opportunities, and international markets in general. Now, a tool I would like to maybe say a few words on today, and then which is of particular relevance, is our network of SME centers. Again, I think Renzo has brilliantly provided the overview of the work and the help that the centers are providing. The one we have in China is doing an incredible work, obviously providing a lot of information on all these challenges that are mentioned of the typical challenges for SME to go abroad, getting the right information, understanding the kind of partners it can work with, the obstacles, the risks, compliance issues in terms of foreign laws, IPR, and these kind of challenges. But obviously, China is a specific market, and we recognize that. And there are a number of very specific challenges in accessing the Chinese market. First of all, this overall notion of let's say an unfair level playing field that SMEs, foreign SMEs, particularly European ones, will be facing and have to be aware of. Non-tariff measures, discrimination against foreign operators. These are all some of the specific challenges that have to be addressed when entering China. But having said that, at the policy level, we are, of course, trying to bring greater awareness of the specific challenges that this somehow unlevel playing field are bringing about. And you will have heard about our policies to de-risk and to have, let's say, a more nuanced approach to our economic relation with China. But having said that, we would really like to stress that it doesn't mean that we are advising companies not to go to China, not to test the market. We are still convinced that there are definite market opportunities in China, despite a somewhat morose economic outlook, despite a business environment which to some extent is somehow deteriorating for foreign companies. But we are still convinced that there are still a lot of opportunities to be made. I would mention, for example, last August, the Chinese State Council issuing a guideline on optimizing foreign investment, which brings about investment promotion, especially in the biopharmaceutical and telecom sectors. And we see that China, also because of its current economic situation, is eager to see foreign investments come in, is eager to welcome foreign investors, and there's therefore an opportunity to seize there, especially for SMEs. Now, let me just say a few words on the special work that the SME Center in China is doing. Renzo mentioned it, a lot of it already, so I'll be short. We see 4 key objectives that the center is addressing. First of all, the question of information. You know that information is always hard to come by going abroad, but especially in China, where sometimes the information can be somewhat opaque. Here, the center acts as a first point of entry for SMEs, the first port of call to navigate these complexities. The SME Center has at its disposal a very wide array of information sources, of networks, the enterprise Europe Enterprise Network, the IP rights help desk in China. So the SME Center in China is able to mobilize all these interlocutors and sources of information. A second objective that the SME Center is doing, and in my view, probably one of the most critical ones, is assessing the readiness of potential SMEs wanting to dip their toes in the Chinese market. To do this, the SME Center has developed a self-diagnosis tool. It's available to everybody, and now I'm speaking mostly to the people online, to assess a bit their readiness, to make sure that they know what they're getting into, they're aware of the complexity of the market they're entering, and this is a very crucial tool to make sure that the success rate of SMEs going to China is as high as possible. Again, this is not about doing the real work for the entrepreneurs, but to make sure that they are well equipped and well aware when going to China. Third, the SME Center is providing advice on risks and opportunities, as was mentioned, so that SMEs can take informed decisions on business relations and on potential Chinese partners. I think the seminar today is part of this advice function of providing information, tailored advice to potential entrepreneurs. And finally, the fourth pillar, maybe less of a concern to the people listening today, is the advocacy function. So, of course, it's important to help European SMEs get on in the market, but once they are there, the story doesn't end there. They will face a lot of challenges in their daily operations. And together with our teams in DG Grow, we are keen to bring about from the bottom up this intelligence, this information on the kind of daily challenges that they might be facing, to relay them to our Chinese interlocutors and to make sure that we can find solutions that are appropriate. So with these objectives in mind, the SME Center Consortium has been putting in place, I think, a very robust, very dynamic set of activities, which I know that a lot of past entrepreneurs have been using. But of course, what we want is to see more clients, more users, and I think this seminar today will help in achieving that. So to conclude, we would, as on behalf of DG Grow, we are very pleased to see the progress of this project, the progress of SMEs in China, and the number of potential users for all these services that the SME Center is providing. We know that the current situation can bring anxiety. We are aware of the rising challenges and how, to some extent, maybe the market becomes more complicated to navigate. But what this means is that services like the ones provided by the SME Center are more than ever needed. And I think as the conditions become more complex, the central role of the SME Center will be more and more important. Voilà, thank you very much, and I wish you a very good seminar.